Hey boo, hey, welcome back to your girl's channel. Now for today's video, this woman is telling a story on basically how her daughter found her supposedly unalived daddy. I know that don't sound crazy, y'all. I know it do, but let's get into it.
When you think that you're living a perfect life and reality hits you so hard you can't stand on your 2 feet. Story time. My daughter saw her father of 12 years. Part 1. Let me backtrack a bit for you. I got married to my husband when I was in my early 20s. We built ourselves together from scratch, from nothing to a comfortable life, to where we're both comfortable and happy. 5 years later, we gave birth to our beautiful daughter, whom we both adored and loved so much that we did everything for. She was the daddy's girl, mummy's girl, daddy's princess. On my daughter's 6th birthday, we got the most horrific, tragic news that my husband passed away at work and there was an accident, there was a fire. I was distraught. My daughter was as well. Her family, we both came together to identify the remains of my husband. But then they did forensic tests and this all proved that it was actually my husband. I was traumatized. I was grieved that I had to bury the love of my life, my one and only, my best friend, so soon. But I had to pick up myself together. We did a funeral, the burial, everything was done with his family there. My daughter loved her dad so much that I had to keep his legacy going by teaching her everything that goes on, showing her pictures, talking about where the dad is from, everything I could possibly do. Although it was very, very hard for me and I had to make myself strong for my daughter. So I tried to pretend that everything was okay, but then having to teach my daughter about her dad so that she could remember him was what kept us both going. My daughter grew up and she said she wanted to keep her dad's legacy going. Therefore, she wants to go and study in the country that my husband is from. She was 18. So she applied and she actually went there and she did the exact same course as her dad. Fast forward, I get a phone call from my daughter and she sounded so upset on the phone. I couldn't understand and I knew that something wrong was happening. So I asked her, what is going on, dear? She told me that, Mum, are you sure Dad is... I was like, yes, dear, what do you mean? We were there at the funeral. I know that you were young to remember, but what? She said, can you send me pictures of Dad, please? Which I did. She rings me back and she tells me that, Mum, this is the man that I saw at the university parking lot today. I started shouting, are you sure, dear? Are you sure? Because this can't be possible. We buried your dad.
Let me find out. Not even let me find out. I already know that this man been living a double life. But let me find out that you would do this on your daughter's 6th birthday. So now every year that she turns another age, she has to remember that you also died around this time. Like, no, that's too much. That's too much on them. Why would you do them like this? Just to go be with your other family? Y'all are some cold pieces out here. And karma gonna bite that ass.
12 years ago. So how can it be your dad and living in a different country? It's impossible. Maybe it's someone, his lookalike or his long distant relative, someone that looks like him, but it's impossible that it is him. My daughter said, Mum, I am very sure that I saw Dad. So to confirm it, she took a picture of this man that she believes is the dad and she sent it to me. I had chills to my bones. I had to sit down because I was about to pass out. I was like, this can't be. But bearing in mind that this picture, obviously this is the older version of my late husband, which is what shocked me even more. Go to part 2 to find out the most shocking thing that happened from there. After she sent me the picture, I was like, no, this can't be. This really can't be. So I told my daughter, can you ask for time off and come back home to Mum and we need to figure out what is going on. She came back, and then she opened, like, on social media apps, Facebook, to try and figure out if she can actually find anything, because she has seen her dad picking up this professor for a couple of times. Hence, that's why she wanted to see if she can find anything on him through the professor. So she typed in the name on Facebook, something came up, and then it was the professor, but she didn't post much of it. So we thought, how are we going to go about this? We kept scrolling to check, and then one of the pictures on her post was tagged, she was tagged the professor by a lady. So we clicked on that to investigate further. We were shocked, chills in my bones. Even my daughter, she started crying. We saw pictures of my late husband, with this professor, and it had the girl that tagged him, another man, which supposedly might be the girl's husband, and then there was another man as well, which we think is his child, and a little boy as well, and the wife. And then there was a video which obviously showed my husband, my late husband, having a speech at, I think it's the daughter's wedding, and then he was thanking them. I said, no, this is my husband's voice. But I had to compose myself. I wanted to find more, so we dug in. So these pictures open a whole lot of kind of worms to tell me more about the man that I was married to, lived with for these many years. So I told my daughter we need to confirm one thing, because my husband had a scar. And if we find a picture that shows that scar, that's definitely him. And boom, there was one picture of it, and it all confirmed our suspicions. I then rushed to the room, a different room, to ring my late husband's family. I'm there shouting, screaming, asking questions, and they're telling me that, dear, you need to calm down, this can't be true. I'm sat here thinking, yes, I know it can't be true, but I have confirmed certain things. My daughter saw him.
This other woman in the family that he went to go start with in another country, he must have really, really, really loved and adored her a lot to literally fake his, for you to fake your with the family that you created and the family that you was born into. That's a whole nother level of betrayal. Bruh, you must have really, really wanted to be with this woman, or really, really hated all these people.
Him a number of times, and I had to send the picture to this relative, a woman that raised him, my husband, not his own mother. And she said, no dear, you were there when we all buried. The forensic confirmed it, so how can you be saying that now? I'm shocked myself. She's shocked. She's in denial. She said, no, it can't possibly be. It might be someone like a look-alike. I'm like, no. So I sent the picture to her, and she was like, yes, he does look like my late husband, but I don't think he's here because we buried him. It's impossible. So I said, I need to then dig further. I had to contact the professor, the woman. I had to gather courage, and I didn't even know how I'm even going to go about this. But what she told me will shock you. I had to then contact this professor. So we traveled to the country that my husband was born, where my daughter goes to university. And I didn't even know how to start this, but I told her that I need to talk to you. It's very, very serious. I was like, you might think I'm sounding crazy, but I want to find out. I lost my husband 12 years ago, and I think he's the same man that you are married to. She was like, that can't be possible, because my husband has never lived or traveled to your country, and I've been married to him for a very, very long time. We have got older children. The oldest child is 23 years old. We've got 3 children, so this is impossible. And my husband doesn't even go out. So I said that, can we actually meet in person? She agreed, because she wanted to also get to the bottom of this as well. So she gave me a location to meet, and it was a restaurant. I got to the restaurant. She was sat there, this professor. I brought my daughter. We were sat there. We talked a bit. So we were sat with our backs to the entrance, and she was facing the entrance. So he arrived, my husband. And then he got there, he greeted the wife, he had a smile. Then he turned around to greet the guest that the wife was meeting with. He saw me, and his face went cold. He had this shock look in his face, I'm telling you. So the wife said, what is going on here? And she wanted to run off and leave the restaurant. I stood up and yanked him back, sat him down. I said to the wife that, don't you think that the shock on his face actually confirms everything that I have been telling you? So he said, okay, I will come clean. He said, he has been living a double life. So he was married to this woman, this professor, and they've got 3 children before he even got married to me. So this woman, professor, never knew that he had a wife, a family in another country. Neither did we know that he had his first wife living in his country with their children. So he started making all these excuses, and then he said to us that we need to take it elsewhere to talk because the restaurant is not the right place. So we went to their house. He had to call his children to be present, and he told us that yes, he was scared for his life. People were threatening him, and he feared that they would come after me and our daughter. So he had to fake his life. So the forensics, everything was all fake.
Bullcrap. I call bullcrap. You wanted out of the situation. You wasn't man enough to let her know. You're a cornball. You're a goofy. And you just wasn't man enough to let her know that you wanted out of the relationship. And you're a coward. The end.
Fake. And we had to go through all this trauma, this pain, mourn, grieve for 12 years, only for him to be living in another country with his family. He then goes to tell me that he wants me and my daughter to move from our country, to uproot from there to his country, to live there with him because he wants to make things work for us. I don't even know if I'm shocked about finding out that he's actually not dead, or the fact that he wants us to move and live with him to continue what? The pain, the grief that you put us through for 12 years that I tried to move on, to raise our daughter single-handedly as a single mother. It's not enough, but you still want to continue what? The fact is that I still loved him because he was, well, I thought so. So, I never hated him. And I'm confused. My daughter is distraught. She can't even focus on her studies. But she's given us one condition now. We move to him without letting his family know that he's still alive. Guys, I don't know what to do. I'm lost. I need your opinions. I need your advice. Your thoughts. What would you do if that was you in my shoe, please?
So after lying to me and my baby for 12 years, making me be a single mother out here struggling, trying to keep her up on your culture and keep you and your life alive for her, only for your coward ass to be in a whole nother country somewhere with a whole nother family. These mans ain't shit. You can't even believe a mother sucker is dead no more. I can't even believe the forensic files at this point. Like, how did you fake all that? Did she say how he did it? Did I miss that? How did he get away with all this? It had to be people he knew. It had to have been people he knew. And this happened every day. This ain't no taboo story, okay? These men is doing this every day, okay? Starting a family in America, then going to Taiwan and starting a family there, then leaving her and going to Japan and starting a family there. You nigglets. You need your head slapped. You need your head slapped because this is ridiculous. It's getting out of hand. And stop giving these men kids. Stop. Now, if you want a child for you, okay. But don't be just out here making babies for these men. Stop it. Don't do that no more. Because these men don't want you. And the moment they get tired of you, they get tired of your baby and everything they got to do with you, and they can care less. It's sad. It's sad. And there's a lot of good fathers out here. Don't get me wrong. I snagged one. Okay? But it's a lot of ignorant fools out here who don't care about nobody but they selfish ass, cowardly selves. Leave them where they stand. Leave them where they stand. And if it's seem fishy, smell fishy, it's a goddamn fish. Okay? I don't know how the hell he got away with that. Use a smooth operator, okay? 12 years smooth, but that's not cool for the daughter. Now, the daughter has to grow up her whole rest of her life thinking, damn, this man really just deserted me. He didn't care. He went and made 3 more of me and said, forget me and my mama. That's some cold work. That's some cold work. And a lot of y'all men are out here like this. You ain't doing it in another country, but you starting a family here, breaking up a home, going over here, breaking up a home, going over on this side of town, breaking up a home. Y'all need to be in jail. This fool just like every other fool in America. Wasn't nothing special about him. That's what I feel about it. If you like this video, please boo, like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget that I love you with everything in me, and I hope to catch you in the next one.